Hey there, kiddos. We're going to get going on our math today. And what we just started working on now is called graphing or looking at graphs. And you know what? We've been doing graphing since the very first day of first grade. I'm just not too sure if you realize it. I'm going to show you a graph that we have been doing since the very first day of first grade. We have been graphing the weather. Mhm. Every day we would color another little rectangle for the kind of day we had. And sometimes we'd color sunny, cloudy, rainy, or snowy. And then we would look to see what kind of day we had the most of and what kind of day we didn't have very much of. But since March has just started, that graph doesn't have very much on it right now. Oh, hello, Harry. There he goes. We're going to look at a graph and we're going to create this graph today. This one is about a birthday party. And at this birthday party, there are balloons and there are party hats. So I've started my graph down here of the balloons and the hats, and I'm going to put the balloons here and the hats down here, but the very first thing I'm going to have to do is count them. And in order to create this graph, I'm just going to use the shape that these pretty much are. You know, a balloon is pretty much just the shape of a circle, and a party hat is pretty much just the shape of a triangle. So the balloons, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here where it says balloons, I'm going to draw 8 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to count the party hats. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And those are pretty much just the shape of a triangle. So I need 6 of those. And I'm going to go right below in the place where the hats belong and draw a triangle the same size as the circle. And I'll show you why. And so I need 6 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when we look at graphs, what we're trying to find out is what we have more of, and then we're trying to find out what we have less of. And another word for less is fewer. So we're going to try and figure out what we have fewer of. And if we just look at it, we can tell that we have more balloons. And we can tell that because the balloons go further. The balloons go all the way out to here. And we can tell that the hats we have fewer or less or not as many because they stop right here. Now, the best way I have ever found to figure out how many more balloons we have is I always do this. I always match them up. So I draw a line from one to the other. There's a match, and 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 a match. Now I can see this one does not have a match and this one does not have a match. And so when we look at a graph, we're always asking how many more balloons there are than hats. And the answer would be there's 2 more. We can see those 2 here and that there are 2 missing right there. And then another question we get asked a lot with graphing is how many fewer hats there are. And that answer would also be 2. Now, the funny thing about that is anytime it asks you how many more, 2 more, or how many fewer, 2 fewer, it's always the same amount. So it would always be 2 more, 2 fewer when you're looking at the graph of the balloons and the hats. Now we're going to change it up and look at some bananas and some oranges. So we're going to draw the oranges. Oranges are easy to draw. So it's another thing that's just in the shape of a circle. So the oranges I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3. So I'll draw 3 oranges. 1, 2, 3. Bananas. Now, I could just use the shape of a triangle if I wanted to, because a banana is not that much different than a triangle. It's not a huge difference. Or I can just draw the shape of a banana. That's a pretty easy thing to draw. I need to count first though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to draw 5 of those. And remember, I'm going to draw the same size as the orange. So when I go to match them up, I'll be able to see very easily and clearly how many more and how many fewer there are. So bananas, I need to do 5. 1, 2. It's almost like drawing the moon too. 3, 4, 5. Now remember, I said when you're trying to find out how many more, how many fewer, you always, always, always match them up. They're like partners. They have a partner. That one has a partner. And that one has a partner. Now, when we look at that, we can answer, what is there more of? Well, the bananas goes further. So there's more bananas. And what has got fewer? The oranges are fewer. And when we ask how many more bananas are, we count 2 more. And remember, that number is always going to be the same. How many fewer oranges? There's 2 missing, so it would be 2 fewer. So we're going to take a look at what you're going to work on today. As your workbook was sent home with you, Mrs. S sent it home with you. Remember, if you weren't there and you didn't get it sent home, it's going to come to you in the mail. So if you don't have it yet today, that's okay. You can do this when you get your book in the mail, okay? So we're going to work on a graph here, and this graph has triangles and circles. So right here it says circles. So first thing we have to do is fill in here where we have to count our circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know what? That's just like when we were doing the balloons, because balloons are the shape of a circle. So we're going to put 1 in each space. 2, 3, 4. And there was only 4 circles. Triangles, we need to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to fill in 8 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That goes all the way to the end. Okay. I'm going to get you guys a little bit closer here so you can see this. And then we're going to go ahead and do that thing that I said is super duper important. Before we do anything else, we always match them up and find if they have a partner pretty much. Match them up, match them, and match them. So I connect them. I draw a line. Now I can see very clearly and I'll be able to answer the questions. So first thing we're going to do is there are, and we're going to answer this before, are there more or is it fewer circles than triangles? Circles only has 4. Triangles has 8. So there are fewer. We're only going to circle one of the words. We would never ever circle them both. That wouldn't make sense. First thing we're going to do is circle the word. There are fewer circles than triangles. And now we're going to go right here to this box and we're going to fill in how many fewer. When we count how many fewer, we count how many are missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 missing. So it's 4 fewer. 4 that are missing. So 4 fewer. Only circle that one word. Then we answer the next question. There are, is it more or fewer triangles than circles? So there are actually more triangles and circles. Remember, we would never circle both words, only the word more, so it will make sense. Now, that crazy thing is, how many more triangles are there? Well, if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 more. Remember, I said that's crazy because these numbers are always going to be the same as each other. 4 fewer circles and 4 more triangles. Now, I showed you this one, and down here at the bottom, completely on your own, you're going to do the graph about the apples and the carrots. You're going to take a picture of your page and you're going to show it to me on Seesaw today. The other thing you're going to find in your Seesaw activities is your homework pages. So you have 2 homework pages that are there. Now, I didn't send your homework pages home on paper this time because I couldn't. We didn't have time to do it. So they are ready for you though. They're all set. They are in your activities and they look exactly like they always did. It's just that it's in a Seesaw activity and not on a piece of paper. Okay, so use the pencil tool and it has directions for you to do that. And you just work on your homework and submit your activity when you're done. Okay, see you later.